Hi, I'm Dana Barrett. We are sitting here today with USA Today bestselling author Wendy Wax, author of the 10 Beach Road series, among a whole other slew of books. Here to talk today about her brand new book, One Good Thing. Wendy,
yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. Congrats on the new book.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we have to back up because I know you have a lot of fans who have read the series and are waiting with bated breath for the new book. But for people who haven't quite engaged with the series yet, let's start at the beginning. Where did the idea for 10 Beach Road come from?
Well, really, it happened with Bernie Madoff and his Ponzi scheme. I could not stop reading about it. And 10 Beach Road is basically a story about three strangers who wake up one day and discover they've lost everything in a Ponzi scheme. When the dust settles, all they have left is shared ownership of this, what turns out to be a dilapidated beachfront mansion on the tip of Paso Grill, the west coast of Florida, where I grew up. And they go there thinking they'll at least have something to sell. And when they get there, it's in such horrible shape. It's this 1920s Mediterranean revival style, really cool home, but it's in such bad shape they can't sell it. And they spend this long, sweat-soaked summer. She always gives me a hard time about saying sweat-soaked, but it is. Summer trying to bring it back to life so that they will at least have something. And in the process, they become extremely good friends, and have gone through a lot together.
And so you do tend to write about women and their friendships and how those friendships kind of help women through difficult times. And so this is part of that kind of Wendy writing.
That's what I'm drawn to all the time. Really journeys of self-discovery, figuring out who we are, what we're made of, and especially the bonds of friendship that get us through the really tough times. I always say, I do try to deal with serious subjects, death, divorce, betrayal, illness, all of those things. But I kind of think Mary Poppins had it right. I think a spoonful of humor helps the harsh realities go down. So I'm always trying to dig deep and at the same time look for the humor in a situation.
I got a little chill. and there also is that idea that no matter how bad things are, if you have those girlfriends in your life, whether it's to call on the phone or to go hang with and have, a glass of whatever your favorite alcoholic beverage is.
Yes.
And, a snack and some chat that it's sort of going to make everything better.
Well, that's why I write about it over and over again, because I think, we're all fine when everything's going along and things are good, we're okay. But when things really fall apart around us, I think in many cases, who are we turning to? If we're lucky, to some good female friends, or at least a good female friend.
That's right. And so the 10 Beach Road book's about 4 women, really, right? So it's Maddie, Avery.
Well, there have been a lot of women in and out of
That's
this
true.
series. Yes.
That's true. We shouldn't limit it. But there's sort of 4 main characters throughout that have lasted through all the books so far, right? And then you're right, a lot of side characters. I'm too familiar with the books because I'm a fan as well as a friend.
Thank you.
But they have this tradition which kind of led to this book, correct?
Right. Yes. When they're first renovating, Bella Flora is the name of the mansion. It's hard work. It's dirty work. They're very desperate. Things are grim. And at a certain point, I realized it was really grim. And that's not totally what I write. I was looking for a lightening of some kind. And actually, at the end of each day, they were exhausted. And it was really one of my critique partners, Karen White, who said, why don't you have them, at the sunset toast that they're doing, it's over the Gulf of Mexico, all of this, why don't you have them come up with a good thing or something like that? And that's exactly what I did. I actually had no idea what that would become. It was really just an attempt to find the positive in the situation. I mean, I am not the glass is half full person I'd like to be, but I'm not. I try, but I'm not. So
what you're saying is you're not Maddie.
I am not Maddie. Madeline Singer actually lives in my former home, has 2 children just like I did, but she is very different from me. She is almost relentlessly positive. She is determined to see the positive. And she's the one who encourages them and actually kind of forces them to do that at sunset so that they will at least share that one good thing. And it's really funny because they often complain. Sometimes the one good things are poignant. Sometimes they're funny. Just sort of depends on what's going on in the story. But she often says that she is not the good enough police. In other words, she is not going to judge if that good thing is good enough.
Right.
It's only important that you actually come up with something to share.
So I kind of love that one of your good friends kind of supported you and helped you come up with this idea of them supporting each other with this
Oh
little
yeah, it was really
positivity.
great. I think she also suggested this as the title too. So Karen White gets kudos for all of that.
All right,
and
Karen.
actually, I'm just going to say right now that truthfully, Karen White and Susan Crandall, two very longtime friends and my critique partners, totally one good thing for me.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just the greatest. And honestly, I would not want to be writing or in this business without them.
Yeah. So I want to dig into one good thing in two different ways. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about the book itself.
Oh yeah, that, right.
We need to tease that a little bit for the people who haven't picked it up yet. And then also I want to talk about a little bit more about the tradition of one good thing.
Yeah.
So let's do the book. So we're now into the fifth full book in the series, correct?
Yes, it is. And, I just want people to understand these novels are always written so that they stand alone. It is not a problem to pick this book up as a first read, and I think it's enjoyable still. But yeah, I mean, for people who started at the beginning, and have watched the evolution of these characters, their relationships, their friendship, that's always a plus if you can do that. But in this case, they ended up doing a show called Do Over, which was meant to be a renovation show on television. And in fact, the network hijacked it, turned it into this awful reality TV show, pretty much against their will.
Right.
And at this point in the story, they are trying desperately to regain control of that program and turn it into what they wanted it to be. So that's very much at the heart of this story.
Yeah. And so in each story, you kind of have, I'm not going to call it a mystery, but some sort of catastrophe story that is in addition to the four main characters.
Right.
And you mentioned the fact that characters sort of come in and out of the books
Right.
over time, as
Right.
people do in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the characters who's sort of been on the sidelines a little
Yeah.
bit sort of comes a little bit more into focus in One Good Thing, correct?
Yes, her name is Bitsy Baynard, and actually character Nikki, who used to be an A-list matchmaker and all of that sort of thing, originally fixed her up with the man she married. They lived in Palm Beach. It looked like they had a very happy marriage. She's an heiress, has always been wealthy, but it looked like it was a love match, married for 15 years, all seemed well. And at the beginning of this book, I don't want to spoil it, but he does.
I mean, I think it's on the first
badly.
2 pages.
Well, all right, first 2 pages, I can tell you. So basically, she wakes up one day and realizes he has disappeared. He has stolen virtually everything. She loses her home, everything else, and he's disappeared with an exotic dancer who is now pregnant with his child.
Yay.
And she has nothing. I
Yeah.
mean, this is a woman who has lived in the lap of luxury from birth, and she has absolutely nothing left. And so she ends up actually coming to Paso Grill, to St. Pete Beach, where Bella Flora is, and also a previous book called Sunshine Beach is this really cool mid-century modern hotel that they ended up renovating, and several of them live there now. And she shows up because she has nothing, and she had put $250,000, I think it was, into the program itself, trying to help them. And now she wants either her money back or she needs somewhere to live. So she ends up in this very miniature beach cottage because she has nothing else.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you still have the four kind of main characters
Right.
developing in their own lives, and then you've got this new story with Bitsy. I also want to point out that when you're creating a delightful fictional world where anybody can be anything, that you made four friends that could really conquer the world because they each have a awesome set of skills. We need more friends that can
Right.
fix stuff like Avery,
Right.
can cook like Maddie, right? Can film stuff
Yeah.
like Kyra,
Yeah.
and then can matchmake. Hello,
Yes,
you
it's
covered all the
good.
bases.
It's all good.
I love it.
Yes.
It's all good. All right, let's
Or
get,
one good thing.
or it's at least
It's
one
a
good
good thing,
thing. Each
at
one of
least.
them on one day.
Right.
So I want to talk about that tradition a little bit more because
Okay.
the idea of them going out after, sometimes a horrible day and having a toast with their favorite snacks.
Right. And drinks.
And
Yes.
drinks, of
Yes.
course.
Lots of blended drinks are taking place. Actually,
right.
they drink almost everything at sunset. At sunset.
Everything's fair game.
Yes.
But the one good thing, what they actually have to say,
Right.
so Maddie kind of is the cheerleader and sort of
Right.
suggests
She-
that they all...
Right. Everyone has
strongly-
to share something.
Right.
Something.
But it can be anything. And it doesn't mean it's the one good thing of your whole life. It means
It's
today.
not your only good thing.
Okay.
It's just a good thing.
Okay.
Pick one good thing. I mean, theoretically, you could have more than one good thing every single day.
Sure.
If you were lucky.
But you got to come up with at least one.
Just one.
Even on a
One
bad
good
day.
thing.
Right. I love that.
That's
and I love that became the title. It's so fitting.
Yeah, no, it feels really good.
It's great. Well, I have to say, as one of my BFFs, you're often my one good thing.
Okay.
So.
And ditto. Okay, this is getting really, let's not
now
cry.
we're getting
I don't
all
want to
cheesy.
cry. No, we're not doing that.
But the book is awesome. I'm so excited for you as always. And
Thank you.
everybody make sure and go pick up a copy of Wendy Wax's One Good Thing.